Let's wait. I think this one has sound. Okay, just a moment. Okay, let me share first. My Wi-Fi is a bit slow. I'm sorry. Okay, let's wait for a while. Okay, open the file. Okay. It's good. Yeah. Okay, let me share my file now. Let's do warm-up activity first before we start. Did you do reading? Last time I told you about the reading part, right? So let's do reading first. Let's check. I'm sorry. Let's check reading. Where is Lisa? Maybe you can turn on your camera too. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. So, okay, let's do it. The first one. Okay. This one actually is your part 3 last time. Yes, last time. So let's try to remember your answer last class. Okay, so maybe we can start with the boy. Tang. Can you do it? You still remember? Okay, this is just warm-up activity. Okay, Tang, can you do? Is there any in 2 minutes? In 2 minutes, can you make your answer like just short, like just summarize? Okay, don't need to expand, like give reasons, like in part 3. This is like, yeah, just short part because it's only 2 minutes. Okay, can you do it, Tang? Yes. Okay, you can try. Don't worry, you can try. Okay, Tang, can start now.
Wait.
Okay, you can still try. No? Who wants to try? I think Tang is shy. Alice, would you like? Would you like to give a try, Alice?
Okay.
Okay, Alice, let's do in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, right now in my hometown, there's a lot of things being polluted. And the most common types of pollution is land pollution and water pollution. This can cause a lot of effects on nature and also on the human health. And I've done all the things that I could to help the environment, like, for example, pick up garbage and throw it into trash. It might be a very simple way, but it could help us a lot to improve our environment. Because people doesn't know how dangerous it is to have pollutions, so that they keep destroying and keep dumping the dirt into rivers to make it worse.
Okay, I think that's a good speaking part, Alice, but you still have time, so that means you can still expand more. Okay, so let's give comment later on. What about Tauchi and Lisa? Would you like to try? Okay, so actually, if some questions like this one happens, like you read this one in part 2 of your IELTS, and there is like a question, and under the question there are 3 or 4 or maybe, yeah, 3 or more questions under the main question. So it doesn't matter if you answer the first one or the second one. you don't have to put your answers in order. Okay, as long as you answer everything in the question. So if you still have more time, you can still go back. You can still go back to some questions that maybe you need to support more details. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you skip the first question, you cannot go back. If it's in part 2, it doesn't matter the order of the questions to answer, as long as you answer and you support the main question. I mean, you give details to the main question, so you can still give answer. Always remember that one. Okay, so it's very important in part 2 that you spend more time to give your answer in a direct answer. Okay, direct answer only in part 2, because you only have few minutes. I mean, I think 1 minute, 1 minute to think, and you only have 2 minutes to speak. So if you skip one question, then that's okay. You can still go back if you still have time later on with the 2 minutes. Okay, so don't worry if you skip one question in the first place, you can still go back to the next one. That's the key on part 2. Okay, so let's go to your lesson now, the writing part as well, but let's do some activities. Last time we learned about some words here. So I hope you still use this one because we'll still be talking about pollution. So yes, let's check on some words here. Let's have Lisa first. Can you tell me what is exhaust? Lisa, do you remember exhaust?
Yeah, I know this. But, wait. I know this. What is it?
Exhaust? Yes, do you still remember from last class? Exhaust. Like, my computer is really exhausted now. I like it. It is.
Oh.
I'm using it for the whole day. So it is exhaust.
Exhaust. You do it for the whole day, right?
Okay, so when I say like I will use it in a verb. Okay, so exhaust here is like the noun here. So when I say exhausted, then that means that that's the verb already. Okay, so when I say like I'm really exhausted for today because I did a lot of work, what does exhausted mean in my sentence?
Actually, the last time that I don't know this verb, so I goes to Grammarly or the Google Translate, and they
Okay,
say that
to what you remember, what is exhaust?
from me, it say that it's like the waste.
Yeah, the waste, the remaining waste. Okay, exhaust. Maybe like existing. Maybe you can say like existing or excess. Maybe you can say the excess. Okay. What about Tang? Do you remember what is contaminated?
Poisonous.
Okay. Yes, contaminated. Okay. How about Alice? Can you tell me what is deforestation?
I can't remember.
Okay. Deforestation from the word de. Okay, that means like the forest is being ruined already. Deforestation. Okay, like the cutting of trees, burning of trees and grasses on mountains. That means deforestation. Okay, it's also environmental problem. Hello, Tachi, can you speak? Can you tell me about emission, Tachi?
Can you hear now?
Yes, I can hear now. What is emission?
Actually, emissions, it's like a share, like which I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, let's say the scooter and the cars emits air pollution, emits gases that are bad for the air. What is emission? What is emit in there? Okay, so when we say emission, it's something about like in the scooter or car that going out from something that affects the pollution.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like factories, of course, the factories from the word emits, that means going out from something. Okay.
And like the air, it's not
Yes.
it's not, yeah.
Yes, that affects the environment, especially, of course, the air. Okay, so I think we can do this one. This is actually, the reading part is actually your extra practice for this part. So let's go to some words for today that maybe we can use as well. So let's take a look at some words first here, and let's discuss these words here. Okay, so let's take note of these words, and maybe there are some words that you might not be familiar with, so you can share, or we can share in class tonight. You can type in the chat box, or you can unmute your microphone and speak. No one? Okay, so let's take some words that we've already discussed here. So we discussed these words, right? I suppose. Erode, are you familiar with erode? Press. Okay.
We know what is recycle too.
Recycle. Is that we have recycle? Recycle means there are 3 R's in that we actually do in environment: reuse, reduce, and recycle. Can you differentiate these 3? Who can differentiate the 3? So we got 3. We call it the 3 R's. Do you remember the 3 R's? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Can you differentiate these 3? These 3 R's are actually really helpful when you're talking about pollution or environmental problem. You can always use this one, or these 3 R's. Who can differentiate the difference between these 3? Lisa?
Reuse is like you use again something. Recycle is what should I say? Like some like some non-biodegradable things, like nylon paper, and you will recycle it, or maybe it's reduced. I don't remember really. sorry, but I know what is it. Recycle to something like you can. What does nylon paper recycle to? I don't know. Maybe it's will make a bottle. Yeah, a bottle. Maybe.
Okay.
And reduce.
Is that helpful, Tauchi?
Absolutely, it's helpful.
Yeah, I mean Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing. But I'm asking Tauchi. This Lisa's opinion helps you clear out your mind about recycle? Oh, you need more. Alice? How about Alice? What's your idea, Alice?
I think I have the same idea with Lisa.
Lisa. What about Tang? Do you know the difference, Tang?
Recycle is make something that can use again.
Yes, okay, you can use again. Okay, so a good example, I'll just give an example. Actually, it's a bit difficult to explain, but maybe I can give example. So when we say reduce, that means you lessen the usage of some things. Like Lisa said, like usage of plastic. Let's say you go to groceries, and every time you go to Winmart, they put it in the plastics, in plastic bags. So to reduce the plastic waste, you can go to Winmart and just bring your own basket. So they don't need to put your fruits or your things in each plastic bags. So that means you reduce. That is reduce. When we say reuse, that means you use the thing. It's actually same with recycle, but the difference is when we say reuse, it's the same use. Like my bottle. Oh, you cannot see. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is like an orange juice, but I still put the water in it. So that means I reuse this product for me to drink well. But when we say recycle, we make a new thing out of the the thing that is non-biodegradable, like let's say plastics. Oh no, the bottles, let's say the bottles. So maybe we can make like a vase out of it. Okay. And yeah, okay, we can make a vase or like displays. So that means we recycle. We make it into a new thing. So that means we reuse it, but at the same time in a new way. Are we clear now, Tauchi? Is it good now? The reuse, reduce, and recycle. Cannot hear Tauchi. Okay, so dispose is something about, maybe, are we clear with dispose already? Dispose, like you dump, of course, like you throw the waste, you dispose. Okay, die, of course, like, die, they pollute. Press is like the button, okay, like you touch, that is press. Okay, but this one is a verb. Press is a verb. Okay, recycle, risk, of course, sustain, give, sustain, give. Okay, threat, real, replace. Yeah, okay. I think we can move to your writing now. But before, yeah, there are many activities in your book that you can do practice with the noun and the verb. But for tonight, let's focus more on your writing part and speaking. So let's try to practice. Not this one. This one is irregular verb. I think you're familiar with irregular verb already. Let's focus with this one first. Stunt. Oh, we have new words again. Okay, so maybe I'll give you how many minutes? 3 minutes to look at the new words, and we try to explain each words later. Okay, these are helpful for your part to speaking and writing later. Okay, so you have 3 minutes to look at these words first, and maybe think how to use it in sentences later. Minutes. Okay, last minute. Okay, let's go on with your writing now. Are you familiar with these words first? Are you familiar with these words or phrases? Do you have questions with the words? Lisa, Tauchi, Alice, Tang? You can ask first before we move.
I don't know what is campaign.
Campaign. Campaign is like you're convincing other people, like you are, I don't know, I think it's not familiar here in Vietnam, but I know it's not relevant. Okay, campaign is like you are convincing others, like in different ways, like speaking in front of many people, telling what you are up to. Or let's say you are campaigning for environmental or how to save Mother Earth. So you can organize, you organized a group, and maybe you can meet for some time like a club, and you talk about the solutions on how to solve environmental problems. That means you're campaigning. You are convincing them to join you and to save Earth. That is campaign. How about the others? No more, Tang?
Utterly confused.
Utterly confused. This is like a phrase. When we say confused, of course, that means you don't understand. Okay, you're confused. When we say utterly, it's like little by little. Okay, that means you're utterly confused. Okay, utter. It's like when we use utter in when we speak, like that is utter. Okay, like you cannot say something about you when you think. That means like you're confused little by little. Okay, that is utterly confused. Maybe you're a little confused. Okay, utterly confused. Lisa, stunned means like you're surprised, of course. Purchased, you buy something. Default means, okay, actually when you search on dictionary for default, but there are many meaning as well as the other words. But for tonight, we will use default like the automatic, okay? The automatic way of doing something. That is default, okay? For example, in your phone, your language, your default language is Vietnamese. Okay, so your language is automatically Vietnamese. Default is like the automatic way, or like the usual way. Okay, so we will use that meaning for default for this part tonight. Is it too fast? Okay, so let's move to your two parts now. I don't have an example. Okay, so we will do speaking part 2. We will focus on part 2, speaking, and we will focus in writing part 2 also for tonight. So like the last time, we will do speaking, and then you have time for your writing. And for tonight, I want you to give me your writing part after or before we go back to the main room later. So that means you have to finish. Okay. So, okay, this one is your topic. Okay. Describe a time when you caused pollution. You should say. Remember earlier I told you that it doesn't matter the order. Okay, that is the rule of IELTS speaking. It doesn't matter the rule, but for writing that is more technical. So make sure that you have to do a good structure of your writing. Okay, so I think let's do grouping. What time is it? 7. Okay, let's do grouping first. Yeah. Who can go first? Maybe there's a volunteer. Who can do speaking first? No one. No one wants to volunteer. Can you raise your hand? No, I think no one is raising hand. Okay, so let's hoping and maybe tomorrow she will attend tomorrow. Okay, so let's do draw lots then. Let's pick who will speak first. Oh no, Alice again. Okay, so number 1 who will do speaking will be Alice. Okay, so while Alice is doing speaking, okay, the speaking part, the others will have to do their writing in IELTS. Okay. Okay, it's the same thing that happens to the next candidates. Okay, so of course, if Alice completed, she can work on her writing next. Okay. Okay, number 2 is Tao. Kachi. Okay, number 3 is Lisa. So that means number 4 will be Tang. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one. Maybe you can look at the question first. Or maybe I can send to you. Because I'm gonna do breakout room. Okay, look in the chat box, please. Okay, that is your writing for today and your speaking part too. So I'm gonna do breakout room first. Okay, so I'll open now and please go to your room.